Shout outs to the Wu-Tang Clan. Shout outs to the Haitians. Shout outs to all the freedom fighters of the Latin American revolutions who rose up and brought freedom to their lands. Thoughts that are enlightened, watch the people fighting up against the crown, won the battleground here in the colonies, also in France. Gave hope to others that they had a chance. Get the people moving, time for revolution. Started with the Haitians, up in plantations, brutalized majorly, instituted slavery, rose against their masters, turned to disaster for those holding power. Suddenly they cower, all thanks to the guidance of a former slave. Toussaint L'Ouverture fought for many days, took the whole island in 10 years' time. When they were done fighting, the empire was striking back. That's a fact, they snatched up the leader. The Haitians kept on and sent the French home. They really went strong, the man on the throne, Napoleon, sold a gemstone, cut loose his losses across the Atlantic. Dreams that manifest, destiny were planted, sold a lot of surface, Louisiana Purchase, was brought to in part by the Haitian revolt. By taking control, they were breaking the mold, and that's how they rose. Got explosive when Joseph was put on the throne. Napoleon, the great instigator, caused these rebellions. Dolores Ayala in Mexico with Padre Hidalgo. First Saint Miguel came rocking them bells and marched with an army of those at the bottom. The Spaniards and Creoles came just to stop him, but then the troops rallied around another priest, Jose Morelos. He fought till defeat. 1815 was the last he was seen, beat by a Creole named Augustine, who 6 years later turned against Spain, took over power. A year that he reigned was soon overthrown, exiled from his home, which means he was gone. Napoleon, the chaos creator, he's popping up and wrecking, locking down a section. Europe is his goal. He took all control of the Iberian. Joao was steering him, left Portugal. Then he was steering in a ship with his fam. Brazil's where he lands, stayed for a while, but then he went home, back to his country and back to the throne. Don Pedro stayed, that was his son, ruled as a regent, but just for a season. His dad had a plan to retake the land, back as a colony, not for equality. Caught some resistance, Creoles insisted on independence, and that's what they got. That man D. Pity couldn't be stopped, jugged the whole country straight from his pops, and that's how he rocked. Napoleon, the great agitator, sparked these uprisings, a great liberator named Bolivar, freed Venezuela, took a bunch of L's pursuing his dream, cut through the Andes, a few on his team, caught the Spaniards slipping, gave them a whipping, up in Bogota, a major win. Can't forget that General San Martin from Argentina, 1-1 in Lima, cross over mountains, no Fitbit for counting steps, but they made it, the ultimate goal. Freedom to Chile, you see that he's willing to give up his army, and that's what he did. Combining both forces, Simone in control, defeated the Spanish at Ayacucho, the last major battle for freedom from Spain. These Creoles took over and ended the reign of 300 years as colonized lands. Then Monroe's doctrine got them all banned, and that's how the people rose to resist. End of the lesson, now class dismissed.